Hello and welcome to HighCast. This episode of HighCast is recorded in the studios of Highland FM. Go to highlandfm.org.au to find out about volunteering and more. This episode is brought to you by Rad Solutions. Go to radsolutions.com.au to find out how you can engage with young people across the Highlands. Our guest today is Kira Sweet. Kira is a Bowral local and co-founder of Glassbox. Welcome, Kira.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Saturday morning
Yep.
in the Highlands, a little bit cold.
Yes, it is.
Autumn,
Got my jacket on.
autumn has certainly hit.
Definitely.
It's different, isn't it? Like there's something about the Highlands that makes you feel alive.
Yeah. Yesterday it was like raining and then it was sunny like a couple hours later. I was like, all right.
It's almost like what was that song about Melbourne, 4 seasons in one day? You're probably too young.
I have no idea.
For Crowded House. Kira was probably born after Crowded House broke up, so that's putting things into perspective. So Kira is co-founder of Glassbox.
Yes.
Tell us about Glassbox.
So Glassbox is essentially a social enterprise, and we started last September at a YCA course which was run by Herd in the Southern Highlands, and they told us to find a problem within the Southern Highlands, and the group chose that there's not enough mental health support for young people in our area. So what we're doing is basically selling stationery and just products in local stores, and the funds from that go towards mental health first aid courses within local high schools.
Wow. I love it when I talk to people like you who just make everybody else feel so inadequate. You're just charging along with life and identifying problems and solving them.
Yeah.
YCA. What?
So that's Young Change Agents.
So what is Young Change Agents?
So they do courses like all around Australia, and it's just about helping youth do stuff like we're doing. So just finding problems and getting young people to step up and do something cool.
Okay. So when they asked you to find a problem,
yeah,
how easy was it to find that problem?
So our group ranged from 11 to 16.
No, what? Okay, you're making us all feel really inadequate now.
Yeah, so we had like quite young people, and then myself is the oldest. So it was a challenge, like finding something that we could all connect with. The course was for 3 days, so we kind of needed to come up with something quickly. And Tara, one of our group members, has actually done a mental health first aid course because she works in a pharmacy and it was for her job. And so she brought that up, and I'm really passionate about mental health and stuff, and we kind of just went from there because we all know someone that's been through a mental health issue, so we could all kind of connect with it.
So tell me, are young people, are they talking about mental health? Like, is it part of your common vernacular? Is it part of your common conversation these days?
Definitely not. And teachers and counsellors and stuff are like, oh, you can always come to us and talk to us about it. But if we're going to talk to anyone, it's going to be our friends, and even that is, we're not doing enough of that. And it's still, there's a lot of stigma around mental health in young people, and if someone's going to go and talk to someone, it's going to be their friends. So if we can help their friends know kind of what to say and how to support the friend going through that issue, then that's kind of what we want to do.
So what you're saying is young people are human.
Yes.
Like the rest of us. You're not robots.
No.
And it's still difficult to talk about things.
Yeah, definitely.
And so your group gets together and I've identified this problem.
Yeah.
And Glassbox is the solution to that problem.
Yes.
Just stationery? What's the...
So our first launch of products was, we've got a box, which is really cool. It's like a cardboard box, which is quite small, and you open it and it's got Post-it notes and like a container for pens and stuff in it, but it's quite small and compact. And then the other one is a notebook with like a pen slot on it, and it's just got our brand name on it. So
and you sell those and the proceeds go into a pool of money to help then local young people.
Yeah, we have our account in Peter Kazakos's charity, so Your Angel.
Oh, I've never heard of that. So tell me more about that.
So Peter Kazakos, he's an amazing guy. He has
Hang on, you should see the smile on Kira's face when she says this. So go on.
He's like helped us so much, and he was one of the judges for the program that we did with YCA. And when we pitched it, he immediately was like, "I want to help you guys," and he basically funded getting us off the ground.
Yep.
So he's like helped us get all of the products and everything. And he's got a charity which does a lot of work, and he loves supporting young people. So it's really great that he's helping us. And yeah, it's at CasCare. So they've got Willow and other people like that there as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get this money. So people buy your product. Actually, where are you selling them? Is digital or?
We've got a website. So it's glassbox.com.org.au.
There you go.
And then we're selling. We launched 2 weeks ago, so we're in 2 shops right now. We're in That Dress at Bowral, and we were in The Botanist, but then that shut down. So
Is The Botanist shut down?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That just started. I always thought that was an odd place for a
plants and stuff.
A nursery, yeah.
And so Bare Body Beauty has taken it over, and they've said that they can still stock our products there. So that's good.
Okay.
They're opening up soon, or maybe they have. I'm not too sure.
Sure. So both digital and retail.
Yeah. And we've also got a donate button on our website.
Go on.
And
how do you find the donate button?
So you just go to the website and it's on there, and all of the donations are tax deductible because it's part of a charity organisation.
I normally save the plugs to the end, but you've got them in. You've got them in
I'm just
early.
sliding them in there.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's what this podcast is about, really. People in the Highlands who are doing interesting things, and if those interesting things just happen to be, the right things for humanity, well, like who am I to stop you from promoting them?
Yeah.
And so, how do you feel like you're doing the right thing for humanity? Is that a motivation?
I feel like it's definitely going to be helping people. Like it's not going to be doing it when I'm at high school, but it'll definitely help kids get skills to deal with mental health illness. And 1 in 7 kids get a mental health illness in their lifetime.
7, okay.
So
it seems like an awful lot.
Yes, it is a lot. But you don't. So yeah, in a classroom, that's like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it puts it all into perspective, and
And do you know whether that same 1 in 7 applies across all demographics, or is that just young folks? Because I've done my mental health first aid training.
Yeah.
And I remember, it's only recently, and I'm shocked that I can't remember, but I recall that you are most likely to have your first mental health issue when you are young.
Definitely.
And that has the tendency to continue.
Yeah.
Throughout your life. So
being a young person with like all of the stress of school,
I can tell you it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah. Great. But yeah, the stress of school, and like your body's going through so much, and a lot of people, there's like so many different things you can get. There's like depression and anxiety, and those are like the big ones, but there's so many different things. And I have friends that are going through mental health problems at the moment, and it's really hard to see because you care about them and want to support them and stuff, but you just don't really have the skills and stuff.
I was going to ask you whether you had personal encounters.
Yeah, definitely.
You've raised that's the case. Do you feel comfortable in talking a little bit more about it? Don't say names, of course.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of suicide rates and stuff that are happening, and like I've had people text me late at night being like really on the verge of that happening, and I've
really?
It's intense, and I have to try and talk them out of that, and like I try and send them helplines and stuff, but it's really hard. And as a young person dealing with my own stuff, it's hard for that to be put on me as well. And I've gone through mental health issues as well. I still haven't fully gotten over it, but it's definitely an issue that is happening within a lot of young people.
So do you feel like in like coinciding with what you're doing with Glassbox, that you're also becoming like a pseudo counselor?
Well, it's not our job to be.
No, I'm not saying that it
yeah.
is. I'm just asking if that's how it's kind of working out for you.
Um,
or is it just being a friend?
Just being a friend and like knowing how to support them and where to guide them, and just having the skills. It's not about putting it all on yourself. It's just having the skills to know where to guide them more.
And where have you learnt those skills?
Well, I haven't yet because I haven't done the course.
No, but you seem like you're...
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just kind of learnt from experience and stuff, and I've had moments where I've messed up and stuff, and we've gotten into fights and everything. But helplines are really good, but often people don't want to use those because they're so, I don't know, impersonal or something. I don't know. I feel like just people don't want to use them when I think they're such a good source. And like TV shows like 13 Reasons Why and stuff like that have brought a lot of attention to it, and you kind of learn stuff from that and how your actions affect other people. And yeah, I don't know. So
you mentioned that you yourself had mental health issues. Do you feel comfortable in talking about those?
Yeah, sure.
So at such a young age, did you notice them yourself, or was it someone who brought that to you, or the attention of it to you?
Well, there's like...
And again, only if you feel comfortable in talking about this. It's
so I've like had like kind of depressive episodes, so it's kind of just being really sad and numb all of the time. And so I've like been to counselling and stuff for it, and I'm getting better, but it's something that never fully goes away, and you have relapses of it and stuff. So yeah, but it's okay. I'll be fine.
And so you're when young change agents came to the Highlands,
yeah,
and they asked you to identify a problem. It's not just a problem for your peers.
It was
a personal problem.
Yeah, definitely.
And do you feel that makes a difference?
Yeah, it makes me so much more passionate about the project. And other people either have really close, other people in the group either have really close personal relationships with mental health issues with their friends, or they have it themselves. And
you think that passion, as you go through life, like you have a tendency to fall into careers and jobs, and some of those can be mind numbing, and you do them because out of necessity.
Sure.
Is passion important to you?
Definitely. You have to do a job that you enjoy and are passionate about. I don't think you have to have a job that it's like saving the world or anything, but you just have to like doing it, you know?
Why can't you save the world with your job? It sounds like you are. Like you.
I mean,
you're helping humanity one person at a time. Isn't that saving the world?
Yeah, I guess so. It's helping it.
You can't like saving the world doesn't mean you step in front of a nuclear missile. but it's like I have this thought that the actual way to save the world is to
one step at a time.
Yeah, and like if every individual just gets that little bit stronger, then the cases of depression will get lower. The cases of unemployment will get lower. Everyone will get paid a little bit better. Poverty will decrease. Education will increase. All of those sort of things. So all of those little steps add up.
It all helps.
Yeah. So it's like even though you might not see it, I reckon you are.
Thank you.
And so after you've launched Glassbox, how is it traveling? How does running a social enterprise occur?
It's hard because I'm in high school. I'm in year 11. I've got exams. I have homework I have to do. And then like other members of our group have sport. Not me, huh? It's not my thing. But they've got sport. So we need to have meetings and stuff to talk about future projects. And it's really hard organising that. But we're getting there. We've sold about half of our stock so far. Like we've had a lot of people go into the shops that we're selling out of, and looking at them and buying them, and people have been buying them for their offices and stuff, and it's been really good but challenging as well.
And the nature of a social enterprise, does that mean that it's not for profit?
Yes.
Okay.
Which
So
is like, it's hard to keep motivated as well. But yeah, the cause is what drives us kind of, yeah.
And how long do you reckon the cause will drive you for? Is this a 1 year plan, a 5 year plan?
I'm not sure because it's none of our long term kind of, this is what I want to do for the rest of kind of my life. But we want to see it grow and definitely develop, and I don't know, we'll just see where it goes. We haven't got a long term plan. We're just kind of trying to get the courses going and stuff like that.
So why no sport?
I go to the gym. I've tried so many different.
What's the difference between gym and sport?
Well, sport is like going outside and something I'm not used to. But
I don't. Sorry,
and like
I'm Kira. I don't do outside. Is that like your slogan?
I go outside, but you have like team sports and stuff where it's like netball, basketball and stuff. And I've done all of those, and I'm quite tall, so everyone's kind of just pushed me into all of those things. I think I kind of rebelled by not doing a sport, just to be like, no, I'm going to go to the gym where height isn't required.
I was wondering where the rebellious streak
would
be. You seem so mature and so and doing what's right too young an age. You need to...
Yeah, my rebellious teenage years is me not doing sport.
Take that, society.
Yes.
And what do you ever feel pressure from society to conform to us?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I feel like
so
we've got
much.
What is it? What's the...
Well, like, you hear on everything that's like social media is like all of the photoshopping and stuff, and all of the like gorgeous girls that can't be real and stuff, and you just kind of idolize that and stuff, and there's so much pressure to kind of be like that. And I feel like it's getting better with there's like a lot of social movements where it's getting better, and there's like less need to be like that, if that makes sense. And there's definitely societal pressures where like if you do something that's different, people kind of look at you and be like, what are you doing and stuff, but you just kind of have to push through.
How much time do you reckon you would spend online every week?
Too much.
Like 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day?
Well, my school is like bring your own device, so we do all of our schoolwork on our computers as well.
Yep.
So it's like a substantial amount on my computer, and then I don't even know the hours. It'd be ridiculous.
So do you feel like you live a pseudo life?
What's pseudo?
Pseudo, like so your real life, your physical life.
Yeah. That
you get up in the morning, eat breakfast, go to school, kind of stuff, and then you've got your online life.
Yeah. Do
you feel like they're two separate worlds, or are they completely integrated?
They're very integrated. I feel like technology has become such a big part of like everyone's lives, and now there's like automated homes and stuff where it's like everywhere, and I don't mind. Like, I'm part of the generation where it's like it's kind of always been like that, but for older like generations and stuff, I feel like it's hard for them. I
was part of the generation that we still had dial-up phones, so the phones that went round in a circle.
Oh yeah.
And VHSs, and everything was analog. But I've grown up from I don't know, 10, from the age of 10, experiencing the digital world. So I've seen its conception.
Yeah.
So part of it is, whatever, it's just digital. But then the other half is, my God, is this what people are actually doing with it? And your experiences are totally different from mine, because I still enjoy the analog world. Whereas you're not aware. What is the analog world?
Yeah. I like technology. I think it can push the world into such a good place if we use it correctly.
So what is correctly? What's
like not using robots to destroy like the world and stuff, and just like getting rid of everyone's jobs and everything, but just it can help people. Like there's what are the arms that are like digital? And
I don't know.
The robotic arms.
I'm learning things today. This is my school.
So people like get their arms chopped off or something, and then they have robot arms, which like
Yeah,
is
okay.
completely moved separately from them and stuff.
Yeah, like you, I believe that like I'm a bit optimistic about
Yeah.
the future. I think that we could like technology could get out of hand.
Yes.
And we could easily find ourselves with a second and a third class citizen that are completely subordinate to technology. But you know, I look at people like yourself, and I think you've identified that mental health is ever increasing.
Yes.
Increasingly important in the digital age.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, there's something, which is why I asked you about is it a pseudo life? Like, your online interactions are completely different from how your parents would have grown up.
Definitely, yeah. Like, they've told me stories of like, oh, back in my day, like, we didn't have technology, and if we wanted to talk to someone, we'd have to like ride the bike over to their house or call up the home phone and like ask the parents to speak to the friend and stuff. I have no idea about that. I've never had to do that.
Yeah, and things like after school, like and after school after dark, those interactions stopped.
Yeah.
Whereas I imagine your social interactions,
they keep going.
and if you don't have the ability to switch off, there's no stopping it. So it can impact on your sleeping patterns. Yeah. It can impact on the way that you eat.
Yes.
Or exercise. Like, what's the point of having a team sport if you want to have social interactions when you're having a social interaction all day, every day online?
Yeah.
It takes the necessity for that away. It can
become quite isolating, I feel, because you can just be like in your room interacting with so much, but you don't actually get that physical interaction. Yeah, it's weird,
and like, people talk about this online all the time. Like, we're apes who have evolved this weird experience to have a piece of metal or glass or whatever you think in our hands that enables us to speak across the world at a drop of a hat. But 10,000 years ago, like, we were just grunting at each other. But so our evolution it's drastically changed, and it's bizarre.
It's crazy. It's evolution. Like, I think about that and everything. It's just like, how did that happen? Like, how do we come from there to here?
Yeah, and you're sorry to interrupt. You're the first generation that's going, you know, all the way online. Like, you guys are going all in.
Yeah.
So what do you think, apart from managing mental health, what's the other important thing? So you identified a problem.
Yes.
What are the other important problems that didn't quite make it to Glassbox but are on the radar as well?
Within the Southern Highlands, or like in the technical world?
Give me whatever.
Oh,
let's keep it local.
Okay, in the Southern Highlands. Well, I don't know if this is insensitive or something, but in the Southern Highlands, a lot of people at my school will call it like, it's the main demographic is old people. So
that you can say the more mature.
Yes, more mature.
Mature in age.
Yes. So
for you oldies out there, you're old.
So we for teenagers, there isn't much to do. Like, I was talking about this with my friend the other day. We can go out, go to the cinemas, go to the movies, go to the park, and then that's it. That's like all we can do in the Southern Highlands to like kind of entertain ourselves, which we don't need as much because of technology.
Yep.
But it's still nice to go out and do things with friends. And if we want to go shopping, we go to Macarthur or Sydney or everything.
Macarthur. It makes me shudder.
But yeah, so there's not enough kind of things to do, I guess, in the Southern Highlands, but it is quite a small community, and I don't know, I feel like putting more stuff for teenagers wouldn't quite be beneficial because of the older it is for older people, this kind of, and when teenagers, usually they'll like finish school and then they'll go and then they'll come back to have kids.
Yeah, I was talking to someone from council the other day about, I think people 15 to 24 roughly make about 5,000 people roughly. I can't remember the numbers, but it was less than 10%
Right.
of the population. And like you said, they grow up there in the Highlands. They
It's
go
such
away.
a good place to grow up.
Yeah.
Like I used to live in Sydney and I lived in I don't know what it's called, but it had like a couple houses and then like a fence at the top, and we weren't allowed past the fence. So I wasn't allowed to go on the streets or anything. It wasn't a very good neighborhood, might I add. But I moved down here and I was like, Mum, can I like go outside and like go to the park, because there's a park just up the road from me? And she was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, oh my God, I can like go out and ride my bike, and I have friends that live near me and I can just go over to their house, and it's great. I've got so much more freedom. So I think this is such a nice place to grow up. But then once you grow up, you kind of want to leave.
So the missing piece, perhaps the missing piece to the puzzle is we create an environment that's awesome for people to grow up.
Yeah.
But from about 15 onwards, we kind of say, yeah, thanks very much, good luck, goodbye.
Yes.
And then come back when you're wealthy enough to live here again.
Exactly.
Which is going to increase more because it's pretty hard to buy a house these days in the Highlands.
Well, it's kind of everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all getting more expensive.
But I think isn't that our, like we've like you and I have just identified it there, and I'm sure we're not the only people that have brains in the Highlands. And
let's hope.
Mine's barely functioning as it is. So hopefully there are smarter people than me at least who are thinking about this.
Yeah.
So isn't it a problem that we have to solve?
Definitely. It's not sustainable for like all of the houses to just be $1.5 million or something, because everyone's like, it'll just increase homelessness and stuff, because not everyone grows up in a family of wealth where they can just like go to university and then get a first house and stuff. So
do you feel like you've just identified that not everyone is affluent?
What's affluent? I'm sorry.
Is from a family of wealth?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm not. So.
Yeah, well, neither am I.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to support HighCast, go to. So is that on the radar for young people to solve?
Yeah, I find it so scary that like in 2 years I'll be going to university and having to pay for everything and like be in a house and stuff, and I'm just like, how am I going to do that?
And is a young entrepreneur like yourself going to go to university?
Definitely.
Is that a requirement these days? Like, do you have to get a degree?
No,
you're going to have a business that's functioning, and I kind of get the feeling that might not be your only business that you're going to be starting.
Yeah.
Do you need to get a degree?
I was kind of raised that that's an important thing to do. And
I just met Kira's mum. I better not ask questions.
But so I was raised like that, and then once I've kind of had the ability to form my own thoughts about that stuff, I agree, and I think that getting a degree for me is a priority, but I don't think it's necessary anymore. Like, it used to be you need to have a degree to be able to get any good job, but that's not the case anymore. Sure. Like, I've got at Chev, there's so many vet courses, which is like you get a certificate at school and then you can go out of high school with a qualification and you can just go straight into like an apprenticeship or something. And it's like amazing, like how many opportunities there are for people that don't want to go to university. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, the reason I asked the question was because like the entrepreneurial spirit runs strong with you. And I wondered whether people who have got business ideas and are essentially creating their own future, like, do you need a piece of paper or do you need a professor to tell you that, yeah, you're okay, you can join the ranks?
No, you don't. Yeah, I don't think you do to be an entrepreneur especially. You just kind of have to have the passion and the drive to keep it going and like realize that it's not going to kick off straight away and that it's going to be hard, but once it gets going, it's worthwhile. And
do you feel that young people or people of your demographic realize that that's a viable career path?
On being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, doing your own thing, like solving your own problems, dealing...
I definitely think my generation, there's going to be like a lot of entrepreneurs. And
why is that?
I think it's because we don't want to be tied down to just like working in an office, and like that's kind of not what we're about anymore. And we just are so creative and have so many good ideas and stuff that people, I don't know, I just feel like people will want to do their own thing and be their own boss and stuff. It's it's like nice thinking about that. Like you can just do your own thing and not answer to anyone else, you know?
Well, you're going to have a client. You're going to answer to a client, I imagine.
That's true, yeah.
Everyone always answers to someone.
Yes.
So I've still not figured out the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting watching over the next 5 years. What generation do you consider yourself? Are you a Z, a Y? Are you even a generation?
I can't remember which one. I think which one's
are you a millennial? I don't know which.
No, millennial is like 90s.
90s. Okay, so you're not a millennial.
What's the newest one? I think the newest one is Z. So
what comes after Z? Is that like the apocalypse after that?
It's just, they've run out of letters. I'm not sure. They might go to numbers or something.
Z.
Or just make up letters. I don't know. But I think I'm Generation X.
No. I'm Generation X.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I must be Generation
Z.
Yeah,
so as I was saying before, there's the Generation...
or Generation Y. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think
there's too many generations.
I feel like you're Z.
Okay.
Generation Z. And I always had this thought, like, if we get to Generation Z, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like we're done. We're done. You guys.
Is there like a generation like A, B, C, D? Is that how it's gone?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a very interesting question. How did they come up with Generation Y?
Yeah.
Huh. These are questions that
because they're just asking all of the questions.
I should just turn the PC on and Google it. But my hands are in my pockets because for whatever reason I'm cold.
I'm cold too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Highlands weather. I went out to have you? It's probably the wrong person to ask the question. Have you ever done park run in Bowral?
What is a park run?
Every Saturday morning there's this run that happens down at the Briars.
Okay.
And you do a 5K time run.
Oh. Right.
And Kira's looking at me like, you're an idiot, Dave. I did it this morning, and I can't get over it.
Well, you did it to yourself.
Yeah,
you chose to do a 5K run.
Yeah, okay. I think I might need some mental health training after this.
Oh yeah.
So you've identified mental health. You've identified that there is little entertainment possibilities.
Yeah.
You've identified that income equality and access to affordable housing is going to be an issue. Yes. There's some meaty problems. Is there anything else of great concern?
Well, there's like climate change.
Oh God. Okay, here we go.
Global warming, but I don't know enough about that to get into it. I just know that it's a problem that isn't sustainable.
I prefer to. I changed the debate on. Okay. So I'm not a climate change denier. But I'm not a scientist as well, and I can't explain.
Yeah, me too.
The intricacies of.
We've learnt about it at school. Is like atmosphere and stuff, but I don't know.
For a person like myself and lots of other lay people, carbon doesn't mean anything. Right? Carbon is a piece of black stuff. like it's not, but it's so intangible. Yeah. So I prefer to talk about pollution. Mm-hmm. So the ultimate cause of climate change for me is pollution.
Yes. And cows, they fart a lot.
Yeah, methane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever we put into the atmosphere, and you can generally break those things down into broadly categorize it as pollution. Yeah. And I say to people, well, would you? The Earth is your house. Would you just willy-nilly pollute your house?
No, you wouldn't.
Would you trash it?
Yeah.
So why would you consider climate change as anything else other than we're trashing the place? Yeah. It's like we're having one big party and no one's cleaning up in the morning.
Yeah, and the Earth's been around for so long, and then like humans haven't been around in the grand scheme of the Earth and everything. We haven't been around for that long, but we've made the most damage to the Earth in like such a short period of time, if that makes sense.
So is that the next problem that you're going to solve?
I'm just going through all the problems. But technology is going to help with that because there's like cars and buses and stuff, and they contribute to a lot of pollution.
So you're 16. Will you get a license?
I've got my L's.
Okay, so you will get a car license because the Generation Z, it might be the generation that next
Just drive themselves.
will just never have a license.
Yeah.
How
That's
weird.
so interesting. I
Yeah.
hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't have to learn how to drive.
Yeah. So there will be a generation in the future that never ever
Wow.
has to transport, never has to GPS themselves.
Yeah.
Because you would never have used a map you don't even know what a UBD is, would you?
No, I don't know what that is. But I've had like the map books where you
UBD. That's
okay. I didn't know what it was
that's
called.
That's a brand.
But yeah, when I was young, like I did that. But now we just use our phones and Google and stuff.
So you would have, so you're very privileged to have used a map
Yes.
in a car.
They were in like the back of the car seats and stuff.
I actually threw mine out the other day.
Oh.
I've been keeping it for forever for whatever reason. I thought, one day I'll need this.
Yeah, one day your phone will be dead and like you won't be able to call anyone, and then you'll pull out the map.
I cleaned the car and I threw it out. So it's gone. I've gone completely paperless.
You've stepped into the next stage of life.
Yeah, thanks for that. But it is. There will be a generation after you, sometime very soon, that will never drive a car.
It's so weird to think about all of the things that will, that'll be different, and they won't have to. But that's why experience it at all. That's
why when I meet people like yourself, I'm not concerned. Like I was watching yesterday, my cousin was showing me Fortnite. The game.
Yeah.
And
good game.
Yeah, well, I've never played it. See, I'm too old for this. And there's a YouTube streamer who's earning $1 million. Not a YouTube, a Twitch streamer who's earning $1 million a month.
Yeah.
Streaming his Fortnite games.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, don't worry about AI. We're going to be right, because human beings are going to spend $5 per subscription to watch some guy play Fortnite. There will be numerous other ways to generate income.
And YouTube
revenue.
And Twitch and all of those stuff is becoming such a big way for people to make money. And I had a YouTube channel for a little bit.
No, should you tell
not.
people what it is?
No, it's so embarrassing.
I'm pretty sure if you Google Kira Sweet YouTube, you might be able. Or did you?
No, I've covered it up.
Okay.
I didn't use my real name or anything. You can't find it. But I had it for a little bit, and people were. I got to around 80 subscribers or something.
No,
I was bawling, yeah. But I think you only start getting paid after like 10,000 views or something, like 10,000 subscribers. And people were asking me if I was getting paid, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting paid. I'm so cool. I'm like making money from YouTube videos, but I wasn't.
But I think it's the human connection, and that's why I was asking you about social media before. Like we're going to try and figure out new ways of maintaining humanness in whatever form or shape that takes.
There's this new device which you like plug into your phone, and it's for like long distance relationships.
Hang on, what?
And you like kiss it, and if the other person has their mouth on it, they can like feel it. And I think that is so weird and creepy.
On a phone?
But like they can it's like this little like rubber plate, I guess. I haven't really looked into it because I think it's weird. But they can basically...
She has, ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't.
She has.
But they like can kiss I've just seen videos of it. They can like kiss each other on their phone, like using this device.
Wow, okay.
Like it tracks the movement of the lips or something, I guess.
I did not expect to learn that today.
You're welcome, honestly.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy.
So what else do I need to know about Generation Y and beyond?
I don't know. There's so many weird things that are coming out, and then I can't wait for like holographs, like where you can talk, like Star Wars.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say.
Yeah.
It should be super exciting, right?
Yeah.
Where I always wanted when I was little. I always wanted some sort of brain interface where I could download every song that I've ever liked.
That would be great.
So like I've heard this tune for whatever throughout my life.
Sure.
And some technology goes into my brain, finds the particular part of the amygdala or whatever it is that's where it's stored.
Sure.
And then goes into Google and finds the appropriate song and then presents me every single song.
My dad would love that.
How cool would it be?
He always gets songs stuck in his head, but he doesn't know the words or like the name of it. He knows like a little snippet of it. And he just sings it over and over again.
But there's songs that I remember from my teenage years or whatever that I hear it again and I haven't heard it for 10 years.
Sure.
Like, I love that song. And I don't even know what the title of the song is.
Yeah.
But so it'd be really cool for someone to be able to do that.
That would be cool.
Do you reckon, how long do you reckon until we have some sort of technology in our bodies?
In our bodies.
So you were talking before about limbs.
Well, yeah, so it already kind of exists.
But like, I think what I'm saying is like just general people like you and I. There's a guy who has his Opal card in his arm.
Yeah, they're like chips.
Yeah.
In like wrists and stuff. I don't know what they're used for. But
so how long between you and I are walking around with something in our skulls?
That's scary to think about.
Okay, really?
I don't
Why?
because I don't want like technology inside of me. That's weird.
Do you reckon there'll be a divide between people who go, that's weird, I don't like it, and people who fully accept it?
It could turn into like, a complete divide of people, yeah.
So like there's an equivalent of the Quakers. The Quakers are left. They haven't updated their technology since the 1500s.
Yeah, and they're just like rebelling against everyone.
So there'll be a 2100 version of the Quakers who are solemn in their human body as it is.
Yeah, and they're just walking around with the what are they called? The UP. What was the map
the
called?
UBD, yeah.
UBD, and they're just like walking around like, I can find my way. I don't need the GPS.
They still have today's technology. They still have an iPhone, but they don't integrate the chips into their body.
Right, yeah. And I'm mad because Back to the Future promised us to have like flying cars and stuff.
Oh, my hoverboard.
And a hoverboard, yeah.
Were you a skater?
By now.
Ever a skater?
My dad didn't allow it.
No,
I really wanted to skate.
I don't edit this program, so do you really want to say that?
Oh no, it's fine. But yeah, he was like worried that I was going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, I'm very clumsy. That's the not doing team sport thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I've wanted to, but I'm also terrified because I bruise really easily.
I can't wait till my children are old enough to skate, because then I feel like I'll break my leg again, trying to be young.
Yeah.
So how long until we have chips in our head? 5 years, 10 years?
I want to say like 20 years.
Really?
I don't know.
I feel like it'll be sooner than that.
I don't know. I don't know enough about all of the technological advancements that are happening now.
Well, let's just qualify the conversation. You and I, well, I'm not a smart person. You're smarter than me, but not a technological person.
Yeah.
We've qualified it now. Let's just speculate. 5 years, 10 years?
10 to 15, I think.
Okay.
So when I'm like 25, 30 maybe.
And that's commonplace. We're walking around and a display comes up.
Oh, it's terrifying. I don't want to.
Really? What?
I just don't like it.
Really? I'm really interested to see what people's reactions are. Or even if you and I, like, even what I'm saying is correct. Like, who would have? No one predicted the iPhone, so to speak. So maybe
and like the iPhone X, like you just need to. It can see your face, and then it just identifies it and stuff.
Because I kind of feel like that holding something is going to go. Like the necessity to have that technology.
You just won't need our hands anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, remember in Back to the Future 2?
Yeah.
And they play that game in the diner, and he says, "Oh, you have to use your hands."
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you have to. How strange is that? That you have to use your hands.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we won't, to have that separation, to have an iPhone in your hands will no longer be the case.
Yeah. That's it. Like, yeah. And you could, like, with the chip that's in your head or something, you could just, like, think about and, like, make a call or something.
And what happens when you need a software update? Do you plug in, or is it Wi-Fi? Like,
oh God, I don't know.
But it's like, I think it's important that when we talk about this sort of stuff, because like whether it's inevitable or not,
you have to kind of accept it, that it's going to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I said, no one would have necessarily thought 10 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago, that we'd be walking around with these boxes in our hands that can tell us all the information that's ever been available to humankind. Yeah,
like the first computer was like took up like 2 rooms or something, and now like the iPhone is so much more powerful than that, and it's so small. And
I've got at my fingertips as much information as anybody has ever had. Yeah, I can know with the appropriate search. Yeah, I can find out a piece of information about anything that I ever could wanted to know.
I think it's great that you can just like you ask a question, it's like, I don't know, Google it, and then you can just find out.
Yeah, How cool is it?
Yeah, you can just learn about anything
Like
that you want to.
In the old days, I had to go to a library.
Oh, I pity you. I still like going to the library sometimes.
Well, hang on.
Like at my school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think that there might still be a market for the tangible. Like books haven't died yet.
Yeah. I think people are always going to like writing in journals, like having a physical diary.
Do you keep it? Well, I shouldn't ask these personal questions, but do you keep a journal?
No, mine's online. But a lot of people, my like calendar diary is like physical.
Really?
But I wouldn't like write personal things in that because I feel like I've watched too many movies where like someone finds it. And
but you'd write personal things
broadcast.
online.
Well, yeah.
How is that more secure than a hard copy?
Because I don't know, like you've got a password and stuff.
Wow, your trust in technology is greater than your trust in human beings.
I've seen too many movies where it's been broadcasted to the whole school because someone's like found it under your pillow or something.
Wow.
I'm scarred. I can't do that.
What from
movies and like the idea of that.
Wow. So
But a lot of people I know do keep journals physical.
Do you feel like there is an immense trust in technology?
Yes and no. Because, I don't know. I don't fully trust it with everything, but I trust, like with the journal thing, I trust it more online than I would, like, on paper. But there's things where, I don't know, I can't think of any examples right now.
But still, it's not incredible, but I find it very interesting that, like, immediately you consider a digital portal with a password more secure, and I guess in principle it probably is.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with data breaches and the ability for people to manipulate,
and all the stuff with Facebook that's happening right now and stuff. Yeah.
I kind of feel like nowhere's safe. We should all just give up now.
Yeah.
and I'll bring this back to Glassbox. In the face of not everyone giving up now, there's hope, right? There's hope in you.
Definitely. I'm very optimistic about everything.
So what drives your optimism?
I think people have the ability to do like such great things, and that like there's not ever going to be less of that. I feel like there's always going to be people that want to do good stuff with the world, and like, yeah. So what was the question?
I think you've answered it.
Okay.
And through Glassbox,
yeah,
you feel like you're providing.
Mental health is always going to be an issue, but if we can address it properly, then we should be able to help our teenagers and kids with that.
And a question I haven't asked yet is, what are your peers? What are they saying to you
about the idea?
Yeah.
The people that I have spoken to about it think it's an amazing idea. And we've done, when we first launched it, we did a lot of surveys with our peers, and so many people gave us such amazing feedback, like, yes, I would use that and everything, and it'd be very beneficial and stuff. Because I feel like everyone's had a experience with mental health, whether it being personal or with a friend. So, yeah. And I think it will be helpful.
Children and teenagers can be cruel. Have you got any negative feedback?
Oh, they're like because the survey's anonymous, so like some people on the survey just like commented like you're gay and then like left and stuff. But we haven't had any like, no, this is a terrible idea, like I wouldn't support it and stuff. I feel like we've gotten pretty positive feedback, especially from like older people, like they think it's amazing.
So your peers are essentially on board.
On board, yeah.
It's backed
We wouldn't be doing it if they weren't, because that's the target audience is for them.
Yeah, I guess so. But well, your target market isn't buying your gear though, are they? So anyone buys it, but then you use. It's just for local.
Yep. They're in local stores, so anyone that goes into local stores can buy them.
Yeah, okay.
There's not really a target. Yeah. And
how do people find out more about Glassbox, etc.?
Well, there's the website, which I plugged before, which
Plug
is
it again.
glassbox.org.au. And then we've got Facebook and Instagram, which you can message us if you want, or you can just like it and have a look at the stuff we have on there.
And you also said that people can donate.
Yeah, we've got a donate button on the website, which is tax deductible. So that's good. You can basically donate for free.
Donate for free. And where can you get the wares again?
Pardon?
Where can you buy your products?
Oh, so at That Dress in Bowral and Bare Body Beauty at the Mill.
So I've actually really enjoyed this conversation.
I have too.
I said, Kira asked, what kind of questions are you going to ask? And I say, I probably pretty much have one question and then I see what happens.
And then we'll just go from there.
And I didn't expect to be talking about chips.
No, me neither. I had no idea it was going to take that turn. But yeah, it's been interesting.
In people's heads. But look, I think like you, I am an optimist.
Yes.
And I meet people like yourself and my optimism continues to grow. So thank you very much for coming on today.
That's okay. Thank you.
This has been HighCast. You can find out more about HighCast via the Facebook page. Just Google it, you clowns. You'll figure it out. We'll speak to you next time.